either I really have to push and make this happen, or I might, maybe I do need to like start over and do the track again with speaker. But for some reason, I'm feeling like I can do it and that I should try and get it done by the 19th. And so I just told Heavenly Father, if I'm doing it, then I need your help. Because
you know what? Just so you know, you don't have to be done by the 19th either. Oh, thanks, Lamira. I'm so sorry. It looks like it's going to stay on for a minute. So if you just want to do other stuff and just keep it on for just a half a second, and then maybe in like another 2 or 3 minutes, we'll know that we're solid. I'm so sorry to bother you. Thank you for hopping on. All right. So here's the thing. We are going to do the graduation the first week of February. So you actually have a few more weeks beyond that. And then because you're DTLA, you could still graduate anytime. So it would just be that we'd all celebrate on that week, but you could graduate anytime. I would love to see you push through, because that's essentially another 4, 5, 6 weeks even. You could totally do it. You're so close. You just need to get those little pieces in, and it will serve you. The DTLA, we really want to make sure everybody is stage and media ready, right? So it just means that when the call comes, you're set. Doesn't mean it's perfect, just means you're set and you're not stressed out, right? So if it works for you, do you think that would be a good goal? Do you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, definitely. And I love that. And I was doing a lot of contemplating yesterday too. And I even like called Katrina and we talked back and forth and stuff. And I just keep feeling like it's so important to be certified. But for me personally, I don't feel like right now, like my goal or my push is then once I'm certified, getting the gigs. It's being there for the retreats, for the coaching, and I feel like that'll come. And I totally feel that. I feel like Heavenly Father's like, right now, I need you here. And that's just going to naturally, organically come, and not to feel like I have to push a lot for that. But I definitely feel, yay, Jody made it.
It was crazy. We don't know what happened.
I just have to say, because I gave her your link, but it logged her in as you.
It is being so weird today.
I do not know what is going on. And
we have no idea. We're just grateful that it keeps going, because all of a sudden after and we don't have the 40-minute thing. All of a sudden after 39 minutes, it just cut out. And then we try to get back on it, would cut out. So anyway, thank you so much, Lamira. I think
it keeps asking me if I would like to reclaim it as a host. I keep going, and I was never
powermonger. That's what it is.
Was a host. I'm like, I kept saying, do I want to end this meeting? And I kept going, no, I am not ending this meeting. I'm trying to join.
You know what? It might be if you were logged in as Connie once back when you did the retreat. I don't know, but you weren't last time.
I've never been logged in as Connie. I've never.
It's good. Lamira, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to disturb your morning. Thank you.
Good.
All right, sweetness. So Raylene, just in answer to what you're saying, absolutely. When I say stage ready, I want you to know that doesn't mean it's in front of 1,000 people, right? Stage means at any place that you are speaking and sharing your message. So stage and media just means TV, radio, Relief Society. If you're at the retreat, any kind of speaking, you are speaker ready. So that's what we're going for. So I completely agree and respect that. And that's what we had talked about. That was kind of that niche that you want to follow. And I think that's beautiful. So just know I completely concur. We're super solid. Jody, we're talking about certifying. And after the retreat, we will have 4 women, maybe 5, that are going to be starting the speaking track. So you can just hop in with them again and just kind of start and go as fast as you want to go. So it'll be just great. But it is DTLA, that is our #1 focus. There's the 3 areas for DTLA, and I just want to kind of refresh you on a couple of these things and let you know where we're at on these, because we've been really working on the speaking track. So I know we've been kind of focused on that and not so much like DTLA, what other pieces. So the DTLA, it's speaking, retreat, and coaching. Those are the 3 main areas. So we also have specialties that you could go in. So maybe it's retreats and maybe it's podcasting or whatever. But those are the 3 core curriculum that everybody has to certify in, right, as a DTLA. So the speaking, that's what we're doing now. And we're finishing and wrapping up that certification, because that's the most important thing. So we need to know that you're certified in the DTLA keynote. And that is the most important thing. And so I've sent that out You can be looking at those pieces if you want to send anything to me to look over, but I need to see that rough. So Jody, even if you wanted to start working on it now, that rough, that it's not the rough, it's the outline. You just keep putting in your own personal stories. And if there's quotes that you'd rather put those in, scriptures you'd rather put in that are more resonant to you, sweet. It's just aligned with that same message. So we basically know we're sharing the essentially same message with your fingerprint. Now, yesterday in speaking track, I was sharing this with Katrina, where she does deliberate families and DTLA, right? So when she goes out, she has 2 speaker one sheets. When she goes out to speak, if she's going to a parenting conference, she'll mostly speak from her deliberate family keynote, right? Her family keynote, and then it will have some DTLA. It will have that insertion in somewhere, a story, or I actually had this experience and it's helped me because I've become this DTLA. And if you want to know more about it, if that's something you're feeling, let me know, because it's really helped me on my path to being able to share my message, right? So it's mostly her fingerprint thing and some DTLA. If you're going out as a DTLA and you're talking to an audience like, excuse me, our speaker in a day or something like that, you are mostly being DTLA, and then you're putting in your fingerprint in there as well. Does that make sense? So you emphasize one or the other more depending on your audience that you're speaking to. So hopefully that makes sense. If you're ever confused, go with DTLA and just say, I'm talking about, and DTLA is all about purpose and why that is so important, what happens when you follow your purpose, what was your experience in following your purpose, and then how they can take their next step to fulfill their purpose. That makes sense? So the DTLA keynote was all really about purpose and then fulfilling it as a speaker, writer, and media presence for him. Okay, so that's that first thing. So let's go to the DTLA certification. I have some things I want to make sure I cover. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to share. We will start with the speaking. We're going to be wrapping that up. You've already had a lot of good pieces on the retreat. So in the retreat, we have a section that you will check off for certifying retreat. And you know, we've worked on a bunch of different pieces on hosting, co-hosting, assisting, the logistics and the food, the service call and invitation and offers, the tech and the slides and the stuff like that, the BA stuff on the back end. So we will go through next week, we'll go through our checklist and you'll be able to check off, just like we did in speaking track yesterday. You'll check off what you feel like you do know how to do, and you'll circle what you feel like, no, I still am not sure. Even if we've covered it, if you're still like, I'm not sure, then you'll be able to have more practice on that. So that's the certification. And the whole DTLA program is the ideal is that you will be certified in those 3 key areas in a year with hopefully some specialties under your belt. So those 3 main areas of speaking, retreat, and coaching, and then you'll have maybe some specialty areas of the podcast or actually doing your own retreat if you want to, or whatever those, if you want to write a book, you're going to start on your book or whatever, maybe you'll do a variety of things. But that's just that thought on that. So that's the retreat. The coaching is the 3rd piece, and we are going to actively start teaching you specific coaching skills. So we are going to actually start that next week. I don't know if you know that Amanda is a certified coach, regular life coaching and for money. And so we are actually putting together our program. We've had all these pieces. I used to teach coaches years ago and had my binder and everything. And now we're kind of organizing everything and making it just like, okay, this is what we want to teach our DTLAs. So we've kind of been piecemealing and dropping sort of drops like breadcrumbs of that. But now we want to make it an official, this is what we're doing. And this is the DTLA coaching style. So just know we're going to be starting that, which is so exciting. And cool little note, you guys, and this is something to keep in mind for the future, depending on whatever you want to do. But we're going to hopefully be doing this as a regular thing. We have been awarded BYU Marriott School interns for this semester. So I did this several years ago with my Back to Basics, had a great experience with the interns. The big blessing is that we actually, you can just apply for it, and I can tell you all about how you do it. You go to the BYU Marriott Business School, and they have an actual whole arena where there's a professor over just the intern program. And then they funnel everybody, all people who are either business majors or business minors, they have something to do with business, funnel them in, and then they have this big sort of job intern board. And you submit a project proposal and then say, I need help with, and we said we need help with marketing and with speaking and with these kind of pieces. And so then the students look for something that's a match, and then they sign up for that. So it's very likely that you actually don't have anyone sign up. So it's really about trying to draw the interest. And a lot of times you can have up to 5, but a lot of times you'll just have 2 or 3 interns. You guys, we have 5 interns. And guess what? Each one of them has to do 7 to 9 hours a week. That's right. So we just got a little team of help. So I'm so giddy, I can hardly stand it. Now, that being said, they're not our personal slaves, okay? And they are there to learn skill sets so that they feel like they come out with deliverables. So that's what we want them to have. So Lamira and Amanda and I just went through and listed out all the things, roles and responsibilities for Speaker in a Day, for the speaking gigs, for the retreat, for the DTLA, and then kind of put their names under, not their names, but their skill sets under of what it is we need to do. I'm going to be meeting with them, finding out exactly what skill sets they have, and then match it with the needs that we have. So what does that mean for you guys? That means you get help. And that means that for Speaker in a Day, what we'd like to do, she's assured me that they can come and help with Speaker in a Day, but she's double checking just to be sure. But they've gone off campus before to do stuff, so it's fine. But what I foresee is that we can have someone over registration, and you've got an intern or 2 interns or whatever that are helping you man the table, taking people to where they need to go, that kind of thing. So this manpower that we need to make this event happen. So super excited. And then on the back end, we have them helping us research speaking gigs for not just me, but for you guys as well. So this is really a huge help. And if it goes well, this is what Jeanette Bennett does for Utah Valley Magazine. They constantly use interns from BYU, and they just have this whole protocol, and they just slide them into the protocol, which is fabulous. And it totally sits with our whole thing of we want to elevate people, we want to give back, we want to help them do, and it helps us cut costs. So, and it divvies it out between all of us mom aunts. So hopefully, I know sometimes the interns, if you guys were in college, you had those classes that you're like, okay, I barely showed up, but hey, did I pass? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I know it can possibly be like that, but the mentor that's our liaison said that this group has been one of the most responsive out of all the groups. So I have high hopes that if we hit the ground running and tell them exactly what we need them to do and we follow up with them, they'll be solid. So what that means for you guys is when we get to Speaker in a Day, I want you to be thinking about where your sweet spot is. I'll share with you what some of those roles and responsibilities are, and you guys get to pick and choose and say, you know what, I feel like my zone of genius is here, and we can talk about that. So I just want to share that with you because that was super exciting. All right. So that's the DTLA certification. I want to go over that. Okay, next piece is coming up is the 5-day challenge. So the whole idea with Speaker in a Day is we're going to follow the same protocol that we share and teach you guys, which is to give them some kind of a Costco sample. We're going to do the 5-day challenge on how to be a speaker to more effectively share your message. So any message they have, the whole premise is we've started promoting the free purpose challenge. We're not doing it. We just send it to them. And it's all 5 videos, 5 to 7 minutes, and then a little download workbook, a work booklet, and then they do their challenge to figure out what their purpose is. So that's the ironic level, is the find your purpose. And now we're saying this new challenge, because we want it to become our new lead magnet, since we're really being more specific about speaking, writing, and media presence. This challenge is all about how you can be a more effective speaker. Why? What's the outcomes, you guys, for being a more effective speaker? Personally and professionally, what are some outcomes you can think of?
I think you find your voice. I think, it's one of those things where you're able to speak to anyone, and not just as a speaker, but communicate more effectively.
Love.
I think you gain more respect, and people tune in and engage quicker and stay engaged with you because you sound and act and hold yourself in a way different than others.
Exactly. I love that you brought up that respect thing, because the studies that I was looking up, and I even shared that in that speaker reel, was that it actually affects your ability to get promoted and how well you get promoted. It affects your productivity. It affects your, on one of the studies, it was even affecting the stock value of the company, because it's how you're perceived, right? How people feel that they can trust you because of the way that you can effectively communicate. I mean, think about that for politicians, right? Any other positives or outcomes that you can think of for speaking?
I just want to give a testimony to what's been said already. I know with me, since I've been certified, and I have a lot of time to practice because I'm over 15 schools. And then within our district, we have 26 schools. And so I will be teaching a lot. Like I do professional developments all the time. Every couple months I'm doing them. And the feedback that the superintendent has received, you guys, and it's not easy to make your name across the superintendent's desk, right? Unless it's a negative thing. And the response that he has received is from other people is, I am a difference maker. And if I'm speaking or doing something, they want to know about it. Like I get the most signed up people in the things that I'm doing. And that hasn't always been the case, but because I've been certified and now I know how to get my message out and I know how to break it down into doable things, and I don't fire hose, I pick the most important things and that's what I go with. It's changed everything from leading with your second best story, ending with your best, like all of those skills that I've learned and just tweaking what I was already doing has just made such a difference.
Oh my goodness. Can you put that in a testimonial or check with Jerusha and see if it can be used just to clip that part right there? Honestly, or if you could just do a testimonial and send it to her, that would be phenomenal. Did you just feel that? I had goosebumps up and down my arm. And the thing that stood out to me was be a difference maker. That is a phrase that we can use in this 5-day challenge, is be a difference maker in whatever it is that you're doing. I love that, Amanda. Love that. That begs the question, on this 5-day challenge, I'm going to share with you the topics that we're going to do, and we would love, if you're able to pop on one of the dates. We're going to do it as a live challenge. I can't remember the time that we set. Did we say 12:30 to 1, or did we do the afternoon? I can't remember. Let me find out what the time is on the challenge. We usually do 12:30 to 1 so we can catch people at their lunch hour if they want to join in. So plan on 12:30 to 1, but we'll see if that's for sure. Anyway, it's a 5-day challenge. Now it starts on the Monday, which is a holiday, but we were going to do a 4-day, but Lemira's like, all the stats show that we should probably just do it, keep it as a 5-day, and then people can join in as they want to or whatever. So the only problem that I see with that though is, you guys, if it's a holiday, like if you're like me, I'm doing stuff with my kids or I'm busy and I don't even remember that first day. So I would love your opinion. Do you think we should still call it a 5-day challenge and then just whoever shows up that first day, it's just going to be fine? Or because it's so hard to start a kickoff of a day where you're just kind of lackluster, right? Or should we do a 4-day challenge and start it on the Tuesday? What's your gut feeling? We're our target audience.
I would say that 4-day. I think a 4-day challenge. I mean, it's not, or you have a 5-day challenge and you go into Saturday. I don't know. But I wouldn't start it on a holiday, because I think if people miss that first day, they're just going to feel like I'm behind the 8 ball and I can't catch up.
That's exactly how I felt, even personally. Raylene?
Yeah, I kind of feel, because so the 5-day challenge is kind of like you said, the sample leading into speaker in a day.
Yes.
Okay.
And we want it to be evergreen. So in the future, yes, we want it to be a 5-day challenge. It's just the way that it came out. So I hate to redo the whole challenge, right? So I think what I'm just going to say is we have our, what was the name of it? You Can Be a Speaker Challenge. Is that right, Amanda? I think we called it You Can Be a Speaker Challenge, or You Can Be a Speaker, like can emphasize, but You Can Be a Speaker Challenge. So maybe we just don't emphasize that it's a 5-day, like we put it down in the small print, and we just say 4-day challenge. But in the future, that way we can just add on a day if we want to. The content that we have is necessary, is like 4-day. It's better for 4-day. So I don't know.
With the first day just being the welcome, right?
Mm-hmm. The welcome. Oh, let me tell you what we have. Okay. So we have the why of speaking, what, how, and who, and then the next step. So the why of the speaking the first day is, why is speaking so essential, and giving some of those stats, those reasons. Amanda, you coming on would be huge to have that happen. And then the what of it would be your message. What is your core concept? And the idea, we're not talking about one big message and all of that. We're just talking about what is your outcome, your presentation outcome that you need to have. So is it, well, my boss told me I need this presentation, I have this thing, or is it I'm speaking for this ward thing, and what's the outcome? What is the thing that you're trying to accomplish in this presentation? Because we want them to be niched and specific. And if any of this doesn't ring true, if you're like, I don't think so, let me know. Just stop me and say, oh, I don't know about that. But instead of saying we want you to go across the board and be a speaker in all things, we're just going to help them niche down to this thing that is top of mind and let them practice it with the thing. Then the third, the why, and then the what is the message, and then the how. 3 do's and don'ts of speaking. So helping them to avoid the the like, the familiar words that they do, and some tips to help them do that. And then the 3 do's of being able to look them in the eye, of being able to speak from your heart and being able to speak with clarity, blah, blah, blah. And then the who is making sure they have the right avatar. So is this going to be for religious, civic? Is it going to be business? Who is your avatar? And then who is it that will be best helped by this, right? And again, this is all Costco sample. So that when they come to the retreat, that's where we actually dig deep and help them figure it out. And you see how long it takes at a retreat to figure all of this stuff out. So at this day, we're just going to help them go with it. So if they're not, well, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if say, choose one. Just choose the one for this one presentation that's top of mind. Choose this one, and you're using it as a practice to open the file drawer. And then the last day is take the next right step. And that's where we do swag, where we're offering a free speaker in a day as a prize for the 5-day challenge, which is awesome. And we also help them to take the next step of if they want to join our Facebook group, we involve them in that and let them know about our podcast and the other things, the other ways, and the retreat that they can connect with us, and they can springboard from here to go to the retreat. So any thoughts on that? First of all, do you think that's helpful, useful content? People that you know that would think, ooh, I'd like to be a speaker, would that be helpful content for them?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Especially if you're gonna do just the hit, that very first day, just hit one thing. Let's just decide what you could speak on, the why, that, why do you want to speak? I mean, at the end of the day, I think it does come back to those things that Amanda was talking about, that, the confidence and the people are listening, I think we all have a message and everybody wants to be heard. I think that's one of those things, like, you want to be a speaker, then you're heard.
I agree. Now, do you think I think one thread to run through it that's important is this power of one. So they don't feel like they've got to do everything. Just say one do and don't, one avatar, one group that you want to speak to on this, one message, one outcome that you need from this thing, so that they know it's just a short challenge. And that will give them that little Costco sample thing to go, okay, I want to springboard, so that they're not asking a bazillion questions every day. All we can say is, remember, nail it back to the one, niche it back to the one. We're not going there right now. Stay focused on the one. So I think that might help us not cannibalize the retreat, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Now, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, if you wanted to niche it down to 4 days instead of 5, since that was 5 things, what if you almost could maybe combine the why and the what? Because kind of why you want to speak kind of is your outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And that the why you want to speak is so correlated with the message. Well, we could knock out the avatar. I originally had why, what, how, and the next step. And I knocked out the who. Now, the who kind of comes up naturally when you know what you want to speak about. Then you start thinking about who would that be best to serve. So that's a great question. Which one would be good to combine? We could say, why do you speak? And then what is it that you feel strongly to speak about? Because I feel like you're right, Raylene. If I feel so strongly to teach women to speak and write and things, then that's really my message, right? I feel so strongly to empower women in this particular way. So it really does dovetail with the message. So I don't know, does that make sense? Should we do that?
Yeah.
And still keep the who?
Because I do think the who is important. I think when you think everybody, that's what I go in, when I went into my retreat, it was like, well, I want everybody to know, and it's kind of, I think you do need that niche down. So I do think the message and the why maybe is the.
Let's do that. Let's combine the why and the what. I love that. Let's do that. Great idea. And that we could talk about that day being a difference maker. So if you don't mind, if you're game to be a part of this, and that's the 16th through the 20th, January 16th through the 20th, I would love to know which day you feel like you could share something. So this challenge, it's not very long. It's like probably 10, 15 minutes max each day. So it's just a really quick story, just like Amanda just shared beautifully. It would just be sort of your own personal thing. And for maybe, Jody, for you, it would be the who of saying, I wanted to do that. And then I realized I have a niche that I need to reach. So would that work for you?
Yeah,
That would be on the Thursday then.
perfect. I was gonna say, I could probably do it Thursday or Friday. I'm working the rest of this month.
You know what? I'm super proud of you though. I'm super proud of you for making those boundaries and then moving forward.
Well, here's the deal. I tried to quit. I really did. And they begged me to stay. So now I'm giving them like 18 hours a week. I said, okay, look, I went over my schedule, you know, that we talked about. And anyway, it's a whole nother thing.
You're a softie. Well, you know what? You never know. If you do feel like that's a good idea to keep kind of titrating them down.
I love
that's
those
also
people.
okay.
I love them. And I feel, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I've been working with them for 3 years and they're like begging me to stay. And I'm like, oh gosh, you know, okay,
Well,
then I have to do it on my terms and this way. And they're
I
letting
was
me
just
do
going to
that.
say, if you feel like you need to do that for them, I was just going to say the same thing, then do it on your terms. And I would also encourage you to encourage them to titrate and wean off of you to be able to have somebody else come in, unless you feel like the Lord's saying, no, this is good. This will work. So whatever works that way.
Uh,
But keep us posted.
well,
It's so hard when people love you and you have to. I remember sitting in the office of KSL. I mean, not to be like, but the vice president of KSL and in his big, beautiful corner office. And he's saying, what do we need to do to get you to stay? And I'm like, I've been to the temple twice and I know this is the right thing. And I'm feeling like little tiny peon, you know, in my chair. Anyway, so I know that can be very hard. So go with your gut, whichever way that is. Keep going with
I
your gut.
know. Well, I am. I'm having them wean off me. That's why I said, I go, okay, well then 18 hours and I get to pick whatever hours I'm going to work.
I
So
love
that-
it.
So it fits with me on the weekly. I don't want to be, I want to be completely 100% flexible.
I love
And
it. I think that's
they give
perfect.
it to me and they said, okay.
Okay, you're like, next time add for a drink and a doily, you know, and a little umbrella. I'm kidding. Okay, so on the other days, what sits right for you? Amanda, I think you would be great for the first day. What do you think on that Tuesday? Would that work at all for you?
And if it's at 12:30 to 1,
What's that your time?
that would be 1:30 to 2. I'm just checking my calendar right now because I haven't thought work for 3 weeks. I've been on break.
You're like, and I still want to be on break.
I still
Meanwhile-
want to be. You're making me check my
Raylene, do you feel like you could speak about either the next step, taking the next right step, or do's and don'ts of speaking?
Probably the next step would be,
I was thinking the same thing, being your bold self and saying, I need to do it my way, right? I was scared to do this, but then I did this, but then I got called to this state calling. And you know what? I'm glad it was in that order and it's helped me and maybe, you know, in the things that I'm doing and give me that confidence and learning those skills and to be able to say, I can do it my own way. I don't have to go and speak on a big stage. I think that would be super awesome.
and I just need to double check, put me down for that, but let me double check because that is my daughter's birthday and she has a cheer thing that day, but I don't know what time.
Okay.
So let me double check. I think it's in the evening, so I should be okay. But
Are you going to take her to lunch or anything? Is that going to be annoying?
I'm not, I have to check with her. Her schedule's so nuts. She's one of those kids that she's super independent and one day she has these classes, another day she has these classes. She works 2 jobs and she's chair. So I'm like, I have to ask her.
I check with her on the daily. So
Yeah.
Amanda, how did that look for you? Because we
Yeah.
could have changed the time. Would that
Yeah,
work?
that works. That actually works. Oh, wait, I think I did it your time. 1:30. No, I did it my time. 1:30 to 2:30 my time. Yeah, that works.
Oh, fantastic. And then we'll see if Katrina wants it. That would be perfect for Katrina on the do's and don'ts of speaking. I think that would be awesome. Okay, I can ask, let me just check with her. Because if you're not here, you get volunteered. So yeah.
So tell me again really quick how long and what exactly Because you're not taking up the whole time. It's just a little message you're adding in, right?
Okay, but if we do 12:30, you guys, then that means that's going into DTLC on Wednesday. So we may need to do noon to 12:30. Will that mess up anything to you guys?
That would actually,
DTLC is, oh, on Wednesday. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. I'm going, no, I'm doing mine on Thursday. So see, I'm not even thinking about the rest of you guys.
Tough for you guys. Okay, let's do noon. Let's do 12 to 12:30 because that would just make it better. And then we can invite everybody on if that works for Amanda.
Yeah, that works for me. I'm checking right now. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Let's do 12 to 12:30. That's great. And then again, just maybe a 2-minute, 3-minute story. So literally just a 2 or 3-minute story, not very long, but just enough, just what Amanda did. It was a perfect show don't tell of how should we do this for the challenge. And I'll just come on, I'll welcome everybody, kind of return a report, and then I'm going to share just a teaching tip for the day, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, and then you'll share a story thing, and then we can, if people are on there and we open it up, a lot of times we do these challenges and people are on, they really don't open up and share. They don't like pop on their thing and like want to share, but they'll maybe make some comments down below and stuff, but we haven't had like a lot of like amazing interaction that way. So I don't know, maybe we'll get really lucky. But so I'm just going to plan on somewhere between like 10, 12 minutes total. That we want it short because when we do this evergreen, it's really important that we can tell people it's a very short challenge, right? It's really like 10-minute segments. It's super fast. We don't want to go much over that. Okay. Any questions on that? That's the 16th through the 20th. And you would just come on the Facebook Live and we will do it we'll record it on Zoom and on Facebook Live at the same time. So it'll be just like this. You'll come on my Zoom link and then I'll hook on to the Facebook Live. So even if you can't come on right at the beginning or whatever, it's fine. Just join in when you can. No big deal. That sound good?
As long as I'm not the host. Let's get
Or
that.
try to reclaim the host. All right. Lastly, let's do the speaker in a day. So let me go through, let me get to my correct page of the speaker in a day. These are some of, it's not exhaustive, but these are some of the roles and responsibilities that we know we need to fill. So there's the registration, promotion and social media, coaches tables. So the coaches and the coaches tables, that's the ones, if you remember, we're out in the lobby. And when we get done teaching them how to do their Keystone keynote, we're going to have people sitting at tables and there'll be a sign that says, you know, on a little placard, hook, principal, call to action or whatever. And people can come to the table and they can get help on those things. Then speakers, that means assigning, choosing the speakers and then making sure speakers are there, they're doing what they need to be doing. And again, we will have a couple of interns that will be helping us with these things, ideally. Then we have sponsors, reaching out to sponsors. We're going to try, give it a try. We're going to try having sponsors sponsor the event and see if they're interested in doing this. And then we'll have someone, Nellie is going to be filming, Nellie Dawson from Dawson Photography. She's going to be doing the filming. We have an hour where people can sign up for spots of getting speaker footage. And if somebody wants to help her with that, of just like be an assistant or whatever, she's great on her own. It's just if we have someone who like checking on her, make sure that we're funneling people in who are going to be coming next, getting them on deck. We might also have someone who feels comfortable with makeup, sprucing up makeup. We would love to spruce up their makeup from the day. They're going to be like this from the day. And we're not doing a makeover. We're just going to spruce them and just make sure they got lipstick, they got some cheek color, they pat down the oil, make sure their hair doesn't have flyaways and call it good. That makes sense? And then we have swag. Somebody who wants to be over swag from the stage, we will offer some different swag prizes, hopefully some from sponsors, but we will have our books. We'll have our speaker in a day, next one that's free that they can give as a gift. And our ultimate gift is, our ultimate swag thing is they get a free retreat. So that's like the big thing for the speaker in a day. And that's for the outstanding speaker of the day, because we will have, you guys at the coaches tables will be watching for people who are doing a great job and then submitting names to us. And then we're going to choose from those women and have 3 come up and speak on stage. And then the whole audience is going to vote on their outstanding speaker of the day. So we want to have nice swag. And then sponsor booths. So if we end up doing sponsors, then somebody who is coordinating the booths and feeling really good about that. Again, we're going to see if the interns can be over something like that. Just see what magic that they can work, because if they're in the business school, then they need to be able to have those business connections. So Anyway, those are some of the different areas. Did anything stand out to anybody that was like, oh, this sounds so fun, I want to do that part?
I really feel this first one and where I'm at that like again, my mind and my heart immediately go to the details. Like I don't feel like I really need to be out front and center this time, but I'm happy to help with, you know, helping Nellie, helping with swag, coach table. I can help, you know, with registration, any of those just little details that just kind of help things run smoothly and where I'm interacting with people and can be aware of needs or whatever.
I love that. So I forgot to put on their decor and venue as well. So just making sure we have like little placards and maybe a little tablescape, you know, just like a little dried flower thing that we can reuse if we want to do that. Or even if it's just something that's pretty and then some little treat snack things that are around like little candies and lifesavers and little chocolates or some Dove chocolates, whatever. But something like that for that decor and that venue. So is that something you think would be good?
I would love to do that.
Yay! So maybe we
Good, because I'm really crappy at that.
Well,
paper plates, crepe paper, we're solid. So what do you think about being over decor and venue and then maybe swag? Because registration, you could help with the registration too, but I think I want someone over actual registration. So they would work with Lamira on and an intern on registration, who's signing up, and then the intake, the name tags, people coming in and making sure people are being moved forward, which is a little different than the decor and the swag and all of that. Does that sound good? So let's do decor, venue, and swag for you, my love. All right, that sounds perfect. I love that. Okay, anything for you, Jody?
Oh, people, whatever. I just want to be with people.
Just whatever the people. Well, we want you with people because you're so wonderful and genuine and kind. So did anything sound good to you? Because the people pieces, oh, why did I just lose my place? The people pieces would be more of like registration or sponsors or coaches, working with the coaches, making sure they're where they're supposed to be and making sure they're doing well. Actually, I think Amanda, you're not going to be here, but I know you will be here.
No, I will be. So here's where I will be. I looked at flights yesterday and it's ward conference on Sunday. So with my new calling, I have to be to ward conferences. So I am seriously, it is like flying in late Thursday night. I'll get there late Thursday night or Friday night. Friday night, I'll get there like at 8 o'clock Friday night. And then I'll stay. And then I have to catch a plane Saturday at 8:40. So
Okay.
it will be like, I'm going to be there, but
You're in and out.
in
Okay.
and out. So probably I was hoping to set up, which I still think I can set up a little bit, maybe possibly. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know when you can get into setup. You're doing that the night before or before in the morning. But I can help some in the morning because I'll be there for that Friday night. But I won't be able to help take down because I'm sure I'm going to be just headed straight to the airport.
You're totally fine. So do you have a place to stay? Do you want to stay at our house?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, why don't you plan on that? Okay. So I know since you're over coaching, maybe we have you over coaches and you're, determining who's going to sit at what table and who's going to do the coaches. So we probably should make sure that's okay. So you're over coaches.
What's our date on this again?
February 25th, the 9th through the 3rd. So maybe Jody, maybe you are either helping with the speakers or helping with registration.
Okay.
Would
I can
either of those, or maybe even a little bit of
Yeah.
both, because once we do
little bit of both.
registration, we're down, then it would just be more of funneling to the speakers.
Yeah. Registration would be great. I'd love to do that. I'd love to be the face to just as they walk
And
in.
you're so welcoming. That would be wonderful. Okay, I love that. And then we'll see if maybe Katrina would want to be, maybe I'll just have her be specifically over the speakers and then she can just run all of that in the stage, behind the stage and all of that. Again, poor Katrina's gonna be like, you guys are mean because I didn't show up today.
You should have showed up today.
Well, and of mine is, I'm sure there's going to be stuff day of too, but once everything's set up and kind of running, I can be an extra set of hands other places as well.
You are the best. You are the best. That would be fantastic. Okay, that would be awesome. So if we have point people from DTLA that are over those main areas, then I would love to see just how much work it's going to take for each of those areas, and then have an intern be with you. So for sure, Jody, I would want you to have an intern so that you have someone who can help you do like the functional stuff so that you can be smiling at people. Amanda, you be over the coaches, and Raylene over that decor and venue and stuff. That would be great. And maybe I'll be over speakers, but I'll have Katrina be with me so she can be boots on the ground. And then Lamira will be over promotion and social media. So I think we've got that covered. And then maybe we just turn that interns over to the sponsors. I'll be over that mainly, but maybe we just turn that over to the sponsors, that sponsor and sponsor booths. So I think that takes care of the big pieces. And then setup and takedown, we could probably put an intern over setup and takedown. Okay, that helps us get to a good place for the speaker in a day. So that's the main thing. Next week, since we're kind of running out of time, next week we'll go through the actual schedule of speaker in a day, so you know kind of how the flow is going to go. And then we can make our list of these are the things that we need to make sure we have organized under each of those areas. These are the pieces that we're setting up the template right now for speaker in a day. So we'll have some of our suggestions, but we'll kind of flesh that out, make sure we finessed it
Did you
together.
get the venue?
Yes, it's
Well,
unique.
Okay,
Lehigh.
yeah, okay.
And the venue is great, you guys. I'll show you pictures next week if you haven't seen it, but it's got like a 5-foot stage, 4-foot stage. It's not very big, right? Which is great. So people won't be like, oh, intimidated, but they have that huge big screen that goes the length, like almost like a movie theater screen, but smaller. So it's a little bit lower, but still wide. So they have that big stage feel, and it's the theater seating. So we can do up to, I think, 150 people in there. The goal for the speaker in the day is 50 women. We definitely want 50 women. If we can do 100, that would be phenomenal. So as soon as we're done sort of pushing this, the 5-day challenge, right now we're kind of just pushing the retreat. We have space for 3 more women, you guys. And if 3 more women that are ready to do this, I know they're out there. I just got another discovery call appointment this morning. I know they're out there. And if we're doing all this work for retreat, it would be so wise if we can find 3 more women who would benefit by doing this. So if you guys can please just keep it in your prayers, be listening in conversations, and be your bold self and say, listen, we actually have a full retreat, but they've opened up 3 more spots. So this is the time to do it. Start of the year, it will turn all the tumblers. So if we could be doing that, that would be fantastic. Once we're done with that, with the 5-day challenge, we're just going to be promoting the speaker in a day really strongly, speaker in a day. And then we'll start kind of, dropping in the retreat for March. But the speaker in a day is going to be that big, big push for that. And good news to kind of wrap this up. I did studio chatter last night, and they had me do 2 back-to-back segments. They usually just have people do 1 segment, but we did 2 back-to-back. And I talked about the benefits of finding and fulfilling your purpose. And the second segment was 3 obstacles to it. And I purposely put in a point in there, but I didn't know we'd have time and if I'd be able to talk about it, if they'd be okay with it, about speaker in a day. I was just going to kind of allude to it, but the conversation, you guys, went to exactly there. So not only in the first segment, I didn't even plan to talk about the purpose challenge, but what I was talking about something, she's like, well, how do you find your purpose? She was like, with her pen, she's got the note. She was the host, one of the hosts. And I said, well, it's funny you should ask. That's great. That's the next point. But our purpose challenge is free and you can totally do that. And it's on the website and blah, blah, blah. And then the second one, I was talking about the what if and what if you don't. And I said, I even have this happen to me where we have this event that we're doing. And I really was feeling kind of, worried, is this going to be fine? Am I going to do it? And then instead of just talking about that, I talked about the event, you guys. It's all on there so we can use the clip on it. And afterwards, the ladies were like, now when is that? And Stacy Beck, who had texted before about, said, hey, do you know anybody maybe politically that would want to do it? She was like, I've got a thing for you. I've got a name. She texted me right after. And then even there, one of the crew guys came up and he said, now what is that? Because I want to give it to my sister. What's your website? And I was like, the landing page is live tomorrow morning. So that's what Lamira is making live right now. So anyway, it was very exciting to me because it's good to get that beta response from people when you say, hey, we're doing speaker in a day and this is what the event is. And they go, oh, that's nice. That sounds good. Right? Now, when is that? And, oh, you know what? I think so-and-so would really do well, right? That's when we know we've hit on something that's good. When we're talking to people and they're like, oh, I totally want that. talked to my hairstylist, and like I said, she was like, oh, wait, I think I want to do that. So I think once we start talking to people about it, once this goes live today, we will send out the link, and then we'll send out the sort of promo copy that you will have by Monday so that you can start sharing, and then share the 5-day challenge. The big thing, you can talk about speaker in a day, but the big thing we're focused on is it's a free 5-day challenge. We have a speaker in a day event, but if you're wondering if you want to be a speaker or not, guess what? Try it out. Try it out in this free challenge and see if it's something you want to do. So that's going to be our push for this month, is that speaker in a day challenge. That sound good? So fill the retreat, fill speaker in a day challenge. We would like to goal for, in the speaker in a day challenge, I would like to goal for 50 women. Now, in the past, we've had as many as 75 in the Find Your Purpose challenge. So it's possible. I know this is more niched, but I still think if we are looking and praying, I think it would be great if we lead with, if you have a purpose, you're going to need to share it. And if you're going to share it effectively. You're going to need to know how to speak. So that's how we're going about this. You have a purpose, you want to be able to share it effectively, and that means you need to know how to speak. Sound good?
That's good.
Any questions, thoughts?
What was the final decision for cost? Because last time, I don't remember what.
$397. The actual cost is $497, but if you give them that link, say, I've got a discount link that you can sign up for, it's early bird and it's limited time, because it will go off a week after the 5-day challenge. So $497 is the price, which is a steal of a deal, you guys. Like I said, this is $1,000 to $1,500 training, at least in a day training. So they're getting it for $497, and then because they're going through you, they'll get that discount code for early bird for the $100 off.
And then for sponsors, again, we're doing the 2 tickets to the.
We've got the sponsor thing laid out, and we will get that finalized. In fact, let's get that finalized for next Tuesday for sponsors. Let's get that finalized. And then Lamira can make it all pretty, and then we can start contacting. And even if it's just chill, that's what I did with my, what was it called? Weekend for Women. I would just be talking with someone. I'd be like, oh, you love to, reach women and your business is women centric. You know what? We're doing our weekend for women and we're doing this whole day on blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be a sponsor? And it was like $150, $250, $500. It was such a no-brainer for them to get advertising on that, where they knew me and they knew that we were speaking to a specific niche that was their audience. So if you're talking to someone, you're like, these are women who are going to be small business owners or everyday women, but who want to do more, who want to elevate, who want to expand, who want to increase their abilities and develop themselves. So that's a really good audience for any business owner, because these women are making decisions and they are decision makers. Like, they will go forward and say, ooh, I want that, or I don't. So that is something to be able to pitch that to them and say, we have an audience of women who are high caliber, they are wanting to up level, and they are investing in up leveling. So they would be a good fit.
Okay. Well, I just keep going back to that singles entrepreneurs. I'm getting you in there.
I went on. I said, can you please have me go on? I haven't heard back.
Really?
You have to go on the Facebook group and then they have to let you know, blah, blah, blah. And I haven't heard anything back.
I'm going to bug, well, my girlfriend who is now going to be married, I'm going to bug her because she's just getting back from a cruise and getting married on the 20th. So I am going to hit her hard because she knows she's on the board right now. So I think I can get you in. I think that's the place, because there's going to be a lot of women entrepreneurs in there.
I love that, Jody. And if you want to ask her and say, hey, can you, or if she wants me to go on there and just talk about this for just a minute and say, these are the benefits of this, especially as a woman, we are already not taken seriously, right? In a business situation, we already have to prove harder. And when we speak articulately, we are taken seriously.
Yeah. Well, I just know there's a bunch. I mean, I know the caliber of people who are in there, and that's where, I mean, you could have, I don't know how many sponsorships would work, but I will get you in there. I'm putting that
down.
That's my goal this week. My goal this week is to get Connie in the singles entrepreneur group.
I love it. Tell them I'll bring brownies. Yep. Okay, I love that. And again, if you guys want to just brainstorm maybe 5 people in business that have their business that you're like, oh, I think they would actually be a sponsor. And again, I can't remember our lowest one. Was it 250 or 150? I think I can't remember what it was, Amanda, what we have put on there.
I decided
250.
I think we did 250, 750, and 1,500, and then 2,500, I think is what we did. Or it was 250 and 500. I can't remember which between those two, but I think it was 250, 500, which is no brainer for all that we're going to do, where they get a podcast interview, they get shout outs on social media for the whole time that we're doing this social media campaign. And they also get a shout out from stage, depending on which package, and then free tickets. And the tickets are like the number one thing. If they get a ticket. If they're doing 250, they get a ticket plus all this other stuff. So it's a no brainer.
You know what? I think we upped it to 500 with the free
I
ticket.
thought we did too, because we were saying,
Oh, did
why
we?
would we?
Oh,
Yeah, because we're giving
that's
free
right.
tickets.
That's right.
250.
It was you're
Everybody's
getting a
gonna
ticket
buy a
plus,
sponsorship.
yep, plus all the promotion. You're right. You're absolutely right, because we're not doing 297. We're doing the 397. Yeah. You guys, thanks for keeping me on the straight and narrow. Yeah. So it's still like a total no brainer. They get a free ticket and they get all this promotion. Like, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, my darlings. Thank you. I know we're a few minutes over, but thank you so much. And let me know if you have any questions on the keynote. Raylene, just go ahead and make an appointment with me, okay? And then Amanda, you and I will connect, okay? All right, loves. We'll see you next week. Bye.